Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with your weekend weather update here on your July 18th, 2025. Now, before we get rolling, we always like to say thank you and welcome aboard any new followers here on our growing little channel. And if you haven't yet decided to follow us just yet, please hit that like button on the main Facebook page today. Now, if you happen to catch this broadcast over on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future updates. Well, we're definitely in the middle of, a very hot and steamy period, that's for sure. And I don't see any big changes on the horizon. My main concern is the humidity that's going to be kind of creeping into next week. I think we're going to see a lot more heat advisories kind of kicking in across the area as we go into early next week. So we got lots to talk about. Let's go ahead and get into your weekend update, shall we? Now, we're not looking bad up there right now for this afternoon up there in Blairsville. Looking pretty good. Got some few clouds out there. These are kind of the general skies you're going to see all weekend long. Sunshine, some of those cumulus clouds, and you'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. But it's going to really kind of be dependent on where you're at. So I'm going to show you that here in just a second why. Lake Lanier also looking at similar conditions. Not a bad weekend. You're not looking at a washout weekend. So if you're planning on going to the lake, definitely looking at some weather. Just watch out for those afternoon showers and thunderstorms that could potentially pop up in this area. As we look at our watches and warnings, we're quiet here for the moment. Notice the orange here on the map. Those are those heat advisories. That's what I'm expecting to kind of kick in here going into next week. So I think Alabama and Georgia are going to be in the crust of this. We got a very moisture-laden air mass that's going to kind of be looping around with that tropical moisture that I think is going to be augmenting our feel humidity in the air. It's going to be quite nasty, I think. Here's the moisture right now. Right now it looks like it's going to be kind of doing a big loop-to-loop here as far as the moisture content in the atmosphere. It looks like all the thunderstorms right now currently sitting over Mississippi and Alabama here for this afternoon. And again, I think the northwest sections of the state and right along the Tennessee border, that's where it's kind of been hanging out the last few days. I think that'll continue to be the primary zones for rain and stuff. We're seeing some scattered showers here across areas of Alabama. We're going to get into northwest Georgia here for today as well with that. But again, nothing too widespread out there as we've got kind of weak high pressure sitting over the state right now. And we're looking at scattered rains here across Alabama. Definitely keeping the temperature down there a bit. Notice it's only 82 there in Montgomery. And we see the rainy weather back over here toward East Texas and into Louisiana. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the model data here. I'm going to go over here and sit down here. We'll talk about this a little bit here as we're looking at your typical scattered showers and thunderstorms here pretty much throughout the day here. So notice as we kind of got this looping here every Saturday. I'll back this up for you real quick here. As you can kind of see these scattered storms here into the at late afternoon, early evening hours. Again, it appears that this area up here across the northwest section is going to be the best areas for rain here. And I think that'll be the same for tomorrow as well. So it's going to be kind of a scattered, isolated. We're also going to be having a bit of a west wind tomorrow. So those folks downslope from the mountains are going to be a few degrees hotter as a result going in for tomorrow. So you see the scattered storms here this evening. They die down overnight as we lose that daytime heating again. And then we go into your Saturday. We're going to be seeing more of those scattered storms once again in the afternoon. Here it kind of bubbles up here again, again across areas of Tennessee. And it looks like the coverage will be a little more isolated for tomorrow. So again, it looks like we're in store for just a hot end period here. And it's just going to be very, very steamy. All right, so let's go ahead and look at your forecast maps here. Let's go ahead and step you through this as we go in for this upcoming weekend. We'll go ahead and step you through this as we go on into your Saturday. Again, just scattered storms here expected throughout the afternoon, Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Really not looking at any changes here. So weekend's not bad. It's just going to be very hot and steamy. And then it looks like the rain chances may come up a little bit going into Monday and Tuesday next week, and then it'll kind of back off again. We got this backdoor front. I'm not sure if this thing's going to make it far enough south. That's a pretty decent high pressure ridge down in here. If that makes it all the way down, almost like a cool air wedge situation, that could knock the temperatures down a little bit across northeast Georgia. We'll watch that closely there going into Tuesday for right now. And then going into Wednesday, I think that will begin to break down there. And then, again, I think the rain chances will be a little more limited toward the end of the forecast period next week going into Thursday and going into your Friday. So let's go ahead and look at your forecast here for tomorrow. Again, a little steamy, a little hot, 94, 74. Keep the rain chance about 30%. Again, very isolated, scattered out there for tomorrow. Looking at your lows, these are pretty much uniform what we had today. Maybe a degree or two warmer here off toward the east, but 72 in Cumming, 73 in Calhoun, 71 in Cedartown, 70 in Dahlonega. Daytime highs, here's where you notice that westerly wind. Westerly wind, again, the elevation's higher here, it is lower here, so as that air travels west down slope, we get a few degrees hotter. So we're looking, 95, 96, maybe sneaking into the upper 90s there. But these temperatures are pretty much non-changed from what we're going to see on Friday and Saturday, probably into Sunday as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at your regional perspective here. Still looking at scatter storms here on the Gulf Coast. The Gulf Coast not looking too bad there. Look at these temperatures here because of that westerly wind. Look at that. 97, 99, 97, 99, very, very hot there on the East Coast there. 93 in Nashville. So again, just very hot and steamy all across the Southeast. All right, here we go. Next 7 days here. Again, keeping the rain chance 30% for Sunday. So this is not bad. A little bit higher there on Saturday across the northwestern sections. Okay, that's right. Northwestern section right along the northeast up there in the mountains. Maybe a little bit higher, but 30% there. And then 40, 50%. Looks like the highest rain chance on Tuesday. I expect heat advisories potentially here going into Monday. And then we'll see things begin to kind of looking at your temperatures there in the 90s and lows in the 70s going in toward the middle end of next week. So no big changes there. So again, I did post a question on the Facebook page about what your favorite time of year is. We've still got 66 more days until fall. So we're in the middle of the summer right now. It is very hot and very steamy to say the least. So if you want to check out that poll question and vote on it, what's your favorite season is, go check that out. I did post that down here below. Again, I appreciate everybody helping us grow our channel. We got a long way to go. We should hit 8,000 followers this weekend, probably on Sunday. That's about 8% of the goal. So, but the big goal, the more recent short-term goal is getting back to Facebook professional status, which is 10,000. So we should hit that here probably by early August, I suspect, as we go into that. And then we'll hopefully get back to what our previous page was, which was like 11,200. So sometime in August, we'll hit that. And then we'll go try to get back from our first page, which got taken down. Long story on that one. Anyway, all right, you guys take it easy. I hope you guys have a great, safe weekend out there, and we'll see you next Monday. You guys have a great, safe weekend. Of course, I still update you with my daily weather on the goes. You can check those out on Saturday and Sunday morning. All right, you guys take it easy. Be good, stay safe. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.